On the first episode of this drift bike build, I got the Hayabusa in the workshop for the very first time. At this point, the frame is completely untouched. But we had the guys from Stonefreak's team come over to make sure that we are all on the same page because we are about to do some irreversible damage. So if you don't want too much spoilers, go check part 1 first and come back here later. Before we get started on the fabrication for today, I want to change out the headers for the bike because one, I need to change them out anyway. And they look a whole lot better. And I don't know about the sound, but they are bigger in diameter, so there's at least a chance they might sound a little different. I don't know. With turbo setups, I know the sound gets eaten up a little bit of the turbo, so it's not as a naturally aspirated engine where the pipes make quite a huge difference, but we'll see. But before we do that, we got the injectors back from the injector and they have been cleaned. Looked good, however, so we're gonna change the chase the rabbit a bit further. There's one thing I hope wasn't the cause, because I think you can even see already this pipe was zip tied up here. Yeah, that is pretty bad. So before we continue on with angle cut where we left off, I just wanted to make a good overhaul of the system, like fuel and spark, and thank goodness I did. Spark plugs turned out to be one of the problem, and also the fuel system was quite nasty. So without further ado, just let fill her up and let's hear her sing. Another super crucial part of this build apart from steering angle is seating position. So I'm just using some expander foam to get a rough shape in and see if we can get sitting as low as possible and as much forward as well, because in the original seating position you would be pretty far back and pretty high up, so not the best for drifting a bike. Which is also obviously why I'm redesigning this to the client's needs. And at the same time, this will also hold the fuel cell for the bike. So I'm finally making some more progress on the front end, and I'm starting to understand why I was myself even just considering having a billet piece in the front, because there is so much work to this. You know, still this is a prototype, so I'm guessing I had to do it anyway, but as it's, you know, it still flexes a little bit, so I'm adding in more support before adding the casing on the outside. So again, first just boxing it straight backwards, and then next up I got this piece which I'm gonna make, which is then gonna go like that, in line with that, so it sort of pushes it in and not just backwards. That should stiffen it up a lot more, and then we'll see if I do any more. Probably I should, I don't know, but there is definitely all kind of welds, all the kind of welding modes here really, so it's definitely fun, you know. It's a challenge, so yeah, make some more pieces just like that, and we're off to the races. As of this very clip, I have all the verticals completely welded. There are still, however, lots of small pieces to do before I can cap it off with a big brace. So just get a boost pipe pass through, and then I will also cap off all the small holes with just individual pieces, because I can weld those first and then I can grind them flush and put yet another brace on top, make it extra strong, because this is the most crucial part of the bike as of rigidity.
Yeah. Hey. Run around town. Hey. In the street. Hey. Hey. Yeah. I've been laying low and getting to some plays with the bros. People hitting me about so and so, but say it ain't so. I've been out the way, I stay away from stunting the growth. Cause the pros got a pro, it's all under control.
Now that the front end is done, it's time to move on to other things as the fuel cell. Starting off with the fuel line going from the rail to the pump. In this place it used to be this plastic springy piece, which is just no good. Also I need a longer one because I did relocate the inlet of the rail a little bit. So just this Saint Gobain, I don't know, fuel line flex see-through, a bit of odd color, but just simple as I got these. Then loop them up a little bit, press them in, and they're quite snug as it is just getting started. So there will be no necessary, I know the focus is in, no necessary clamps onto this, just it will, you know, I couldn't get this off. So there's been a slight change in getting this thing on the track for the first time with the new mods and such. So the aluminum fuel cell as the seat is gonna happen, but it is also not of this timetable. So Juha has confirmed that I can do whatever I like with this thing, making it work, because we're going to track in 2 days. So a challenge enough getting all the other things as well ready, so but getting this fuel cell at least to somewhat where we want it to go, you know, will at least help. So I already did remove the level indicator, because that one would also be a little taller, because what I'm gonna do with this is gonna make this thing way lower, and what that means is, because this is where the fuel pump would go, like this is as low as we can go, basically. So I'm gonna make it that like this all the way up to the filler cap. If I'm gonna just bonk it in, I don't know.
It's bonks.
Maybe cut it open could be easier, but if I'm gonna be able to bonk it in, that's gonna be the quicker way. And also if I can't bonk it in, I'll just cut it open anyway.
It's Bonk City in here.
Alright, so I have done all the necessary precautions for the tank not to go boom, but I always do, as an additional precaution, this is like just light the rag on fire, have it on a stick, and get as far away as I can, and put the rag in the tank, and whatever fumes is left there hopefully burns away, because sometimes there might be a little bit of a even that, I don't want to take any chances, because I'm not ready to get blown up just yet. So let's do that. Sheesh, that seems safe enough for me. So I'm actually pretty stoked about the temporary fuel cell, which at first I was like, well, we'll just bang it in.
Bang it twice!
Twice.
Twice!
But I found something cooler, I think, making the boat like functional and not that bad. I mean, I still haven't welded the pieces in. You'll see that in the next few clips, but you ready? Tell me it doesn't look like a Bugatti Chiron.
No.
I don't know. Sort of like a Viper almost. Okay, so that didn't take too much effort getting it to fit onto the original tank. It's still not as refined as I would want it to be, but again, this is a temporary tank after all, and seat, until we get the proper one. But nonetheless, this would be the original seating position, but we're not using that anymore. Just capping this off. So we're now able to get a lot more forward onto the bike, and obviously also the steering angles that we need. So there is going to be some challenges. I need to get some guide for the throttle cable, so we will move seamlessly without getting stuck or getting to bind somewhere. Clutch is part hardline and part banjo, so I need to do something about that. And I need to finish welding this. So after that is the cooler and the oil cooler relocation, and mounts for that obviously. Then this thing is track ready, but we only got one day. Let's get to it.
but it's not so big.
Not that big.
Maybe there is.
There is some.
But yeah. Joo, ja täältä tonne päin, niin sen pystyy vetämään aika hyvin. Nyt mä sen huomasin. Se on niistä paikkauksista. Äskenkin niin se lähti ihan kuin jäälle.
Sitä kun sä teit jotain.
Juu.
Aivan.
Kun se meni niinku, ei mitään hallintaa enää koko niinku pyörää, se lähtee vaan
Niinku niin.
nää te paikkaukset.
Niin, näitä.
Noi on kuin jäätä.
Experiment.
But we are not going so low. No, I don't think so. I think this is maybe already pretty much. Yeah, I mean, even like... And there you see, there is a lot of space to go lower. I would say that if you take it,
Yeah.
it takes...
Oh yeah. See if you can take those.
Yeah.
Hey.
You can... No.
It was just a way.
But they...
I mean, you can just make a new plate, this plate new instead.
Yeah.
Or-
we can buy these racing setups.
Okay, yeah.
This whole setup, what you can adjust. So we should watch how much lower those go already. Because that would be the easiest way. This whole thing is so ugly. It's from Ohva.
What is that? That's new for me.
Don't you have heard?
Do I wanna know?
What is the biggest motorcycle in the world? Goldwing.
Ah.
It's called Ohva.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
And now we can measure again the level.
Oh, yeah. It was
Difference was 23.
centimeters from this to the original fuel cell. On that bike, it's 30 roughly, and
Check how much it is.
and here we have 70.
70?
70. Yeah.
And it was 100.
1 meters. Now it is just as much as that other bike.
Yeah.
So it's 10 centimeters, as you said. Wow. So yeah, because we saw earlier that the height difference from the seat to this is very important for the riding capabilities. So
Maybe a little bit here down.
yeah.
Just a little bit, that it goes a little bit like up. So then you
Ah.
I stay here
Yeah.
better. Just a little bit, like couple centimeters.
Yeah, because now it just folds down almost.
So the next thing with this one is gonna be the fuel tank, I guess.
This one should be aluminium next time.
Yeah.
So,
And then
yeah.
what else? What comes after that? Maybe.
The fairings maybe.
Yeah.
Fairings, and there is some more reinforcements I can do to this to be sure. And I did also ask a guy what it would cost to make a billet piece, like from something to here to the front, like the whole front end.
Oh yeah.
You know, peace of mind and just knowing, because I think it looks fine after today, but I know you guys drive full throttle only, so it comes down to how expensive the billet would be. I know it's pricey.
Yeah, because it's so hard to know how hard, forces come through this frame when you go like 250 and do wheelies.
Yeah.
We can't imagine how big forces there is. And this is so narrow from here.
It is a bit wider at the bottom, though, because it's leaning a bit inwards.
Yeah.
So
That's good. Okay, let's wrap it up.
Clean up and get home. Well, thank you for today, and I'll see you later.